Hi everybody, happy Tuesday. Welcome to today's stream. Let me give you an update on how the day is going. This morning, I wrote out and filmed a review for Greyhound, and I also did movie math. My plan was to get the Greyhound video up before this stream. This stream might have had to be like half an hour later, and then put up movie math after that. But then this Tron 3 kind of story broke. Don't ask me about Tron 3 today, please. I'm going to cover it. You guys are so sweet. That's nice of you to say, Jay. So I'm going to cover Tron 3 after the stream. I didn't want to make you guys wait any longer. I didn't think it was appropriate to cancel the stream today because, again, I'm very sensitive to the fact that you guys are paying members. So I want to make sure that I give you the benefits that you pay for. So I'll make a video about Tron after this, and then Movie Math will go up this evening, and Greyhound, the review will go in tomorrow. The review will go up tomorrow. There's also supposedly an Umbrella Academy trailer tomorrow. I'll react to it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to have time to break it down tomorrow because, as you know, I get my food delivery, and also I have a family member's birthday tomorrow, so we're doing a lot of FaceTiming around that. So I'll probably react to the trailer tomorrow, and I'll break it down on Thursday. So anyway, we have a lot of fun stuff to go over today. We have the usual 3 stories, and then, of course, as always, for the final 10 minutes of the stream, you can ask me anything that you would like. That's very sweet of you to say, Jordan. I try so hard to try and be on top of things and to answer everybody when they ask me a question. All right, so before we get to today's 3 stories, where's everybody watching from today? I like to just do a little round of shout outs at the beginning of the stream just to say hi to people and stuff like that. Nana says, am I feeling better? I still can't get my sleep schedule on point. And then also, I was up so late last night watching Greyhound because I got a late evening because of some stories that broke. So, I really have to get my sleep schedule. I feel like I'm constantly playing catch up, which is not good. And it was a mistake not to do movie math on Sunday. I'm paying for it, boy. So AJST is in New Orleans. I love New Orleans. Eric's in San Francisco. Nat Sanija is in Michigan. Lisa says she's in Wisconsin, where it's very hot. It's been hot here in New York, too. Although I wouldn't know it because I can't go outside. Let's see here. Dogomania is in Turkey. Hello. Giovanni is in California, also struggling with his sleep schedule. I feel your pain. Jay is in Los Angeles eating a burrito. Oh, I would love a burrito. I've been trying to order a burrito, but they don't have any good ones. Podge Durka is walking the dog in Clare, Ireland. Oh, that sounds very cool and awesome to an American. Elliot is watching from hot LA. Sad mood today. Oh, I'm sorry. Cheer up. I hope the stream cheers you up today. Thomas is getting ready to work in sunny Colorado. Lloyd has finally started watching Doom Patrol Season 1 and finds it excellent in Virginia. It's so good. Pastor Madeline is driving to pick up her dog from the salon. Ooh, first you went to the salon, Madeline. Now your dog gets to go? Oh, that's so sweet of you, Martin. No, movie math will go up. I already filmed it. I just have to edit it. So it'll probably go up late today, but it'll go up. I just have to get it up by 9 o'clock when $1 Million Listing LA is on. And then Dirty John, the Betty Broderick story. I have my trash TV tonight, and I'm so excited that Real Housewives of Beverly Hills comes back tomorrow finally. I'm so excited. It's going to be great. Daniel says, just finished taking my statistics final, taking a BTT stream break. Oh, that's wonderful. I love it. Ivan said he just finished Harley Quinn Season 1, and he loved that. Oh, that's excellent. Oh, you guys are so great. See, you cheer me up. I love talking to you guys. All right. Dane says, watching from my home office, hoping Foggy heard Janelle Monáe say she wants to be Storm. Well, she said she specifically told, I didn't make a video on it because, of course, she wants to be Storm, But if she gets cast, or if it's rumored that they're actually considering her, then I'll make a video. But she said she talked to Ryan Coogler about it directly, so she's done all she can do. I think she'd be wonderful, obviously. All right, so let's get to the 3 stories of the day, and then, of course, at the final 10 minutes of the stream, you can ask me anything that you would like. All right. Boop. Story number 1. So that's Brad Pitt, director David Leitch, and a bullet train. They just got a movie greenlit, and I think this is actually fantastic. This is a fascinating story to me. All right, so this is something it's called Bullet Train. It's based on a Japanese book, which is actually called Maria Beetle. So basically the setup is it's a bunch of assassins and hitmen on a bullet train, and they all have weird code names. So Brad Pitt is going to star for David Leitch. Now Leitch, of course, started out his directing career with Chad Stahelski. Well, actually, they started out as stuntmen, and then they went on to form their own stunt company, and then they became directors. And while Chad Stahelski is stuck with the John Wick franchise, David Leitch went immediately on his own path. He did Atomic Blonde, Deadpool 2, and then most recently Hobbs and Shaw. And now he's signed up to do this. And he has a relationship with Brad Pitt already because back in the day, he was Brad Pitt's stunt double, just like Chad Stahelski was Keanu Reeves' stunt double. That's fantastic. And of course, Brad Pitt had a small cameo in Deadpool 2 as a favor to to David Leitch. So that's really nice. Now, I saw when this was first announced yesterday, one of you asked me if this was whitewashing because it's based on a Japanese book, but yet here's Brad Pitt as the star. Well, this is an ensemble piece, obviously. It's about a bunch of hitmen and assassins on a train. So I believe that Brad Pitt can easily star, and then you can have a very diverse cast rounded out. I think that's just good filmmaking from a business perspective. You want to have someone ideally that appeals to every major film audience on the globe, right? So you need your Chinese actor from China. Ideally, if you could get someone from another Asian country, that would be great. If you could get someone maybe Russia, you want maybe Mexico, the UK. Those are all the countries that do really well. So I think that's really fantastic. And they already have their big name with Brad Pitt, so they can take a little bit of a leap of faith with some other cast members because Brad Pitt's already there to make people come in. Oh yes, Daniel Montalvo, Donnie Yen must be in this movie. Oh, Brad Pitt and Donnie Yen? I don't know if I could take it. That would be wonderful. I wonder if they'll keep the Tokyo setting. Tokyo, I believe, is the only place that has bullet trains. Hold on, let me get my water. Luckily, I didn't move it. I'd be so happy about Donnie Yen being in that. I can't believe it. That was great casting. So proud of the BTT community that you came up with that. That's fantastic. I hope that right from your fingertips typing to David Leitch and Brad Pitt, that would be just phenomenal. So anyway, Daniel's like, I'm 2 for 2 for shout-outs today. Well, you're doing the work, Daniel. You're doing the work. So I think that's fantastic. Now, what's interesting to me is that this is another action movie for an older actor, just like Liam Neeson's done very well with that. Jackie Chan did The Foreigner, which is actually a really good movie. Denzel Washington, of course, has done very well. I do have allergies, Jay. It's been a tough week, tough couple of weeks, actually. So anyway, speaking of Denzel Washington, who of course does the Equalizer movies with Antoine Fuqua actually originally developed this project, but he decided he's just going to be a producer. But I think, so he's still in the mix though, which is wonderful. And I agree, Mickey Bray, they should have a female assassin. I'm sure they'll have a female assassin. It would just be, I think this sounds like a really, really good project. Now this is going to be for Sony. But what's most interesting to me about this, above all, is that one of the reasons that it's moving ahead, Hollywood Reporter said it was moving ahead like a bullet train, which I thought was fantastic. But it said that the reason that Sony likes this so much is that since it's all going to be shot on a closed set with green screen to be a train, it's very easy to shoot it in the era of coronavirus. You can isolate your cast. You don't have to have really any extras or not too many extras, and you don't have to go travel anywhere. And I'm like, oh, this is pretty freaking fantastic. So this is a great movie. I think it's a great idea creatively, and I think it's a fantastic idea from a business perspective. Brad Pitt's just so full of wind. He's coming off of an Oscar. And I also think it's so great that he hasn't changed his business model. He goes from making an Oscar. I mean, Brad Pitt has never done like a full-on action movie like this with someone like David Leitch, which is really interesting. And we'll see how he does with the fight choreography. He did a nice job in that one scene in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But I'm pretty excited about this. I think this sounds absolutely fantastic. What do you guys think? I wouldn't put Ryan Reynolds in this either, the Geeky Gator. World War Z wasn't an action movie, though. That's a good point. It's a blockbuster. I loved World War Z, but he didn't have any fight scenes. Like, I don't think he wasn't like doing like fight moves. Yeah, we're all pretty excited about this movie. I can't wait to see the rest of the cast round out. This kind of sucks for the Orient Express franchise, right? I mean, now they're doing Death on the Nile, but this is just really a good idea. Oh, that's right, Mark, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. That was an action movie. So Brad Pitt's done action, but I'm talking like a fighting movie. He did run a lot, Ivan, in World War Z. That's true. He's a good runner. This sounds absolutely phenomenal. I'm very excited about it. All right, so that's the first story of the day. Brad Pitt, way to keep working during the quarantine. All right, hey, Joseph, I'm glad you got here. I'm sorry you didn't get the notification. All right, so story number 2. Boop. All right, I forgot to add the other picture that I had for this. Darn it. All right, so anyway, Halle Berry got into a little bit of a problem over the weekend. So on Friday, Halle Berry gave an interview, and she was talking about projects that she's working on. And one of the things she said she was working on, well, she wasn't necessarily working on it. She was in talks to play a transgender person, a woman transitioning to male, for a movie. And she was saying she was really excited about it. She got her pronouns all wrong, which was like, I mean, this wouldn't have passed anyway, but that certainly didn't help her. And then she said she was really looking forward to diving into the world of the movie and of being transgender. And you're like, I mean, I think it was just really, I think, here's the thing. Scarlett Johansson, as many of you just mentioned, I saw, got into the same trouble. And I said when that happened, Scarlett Johansson could have easily played the girlfriend of the transgender person that she wanted to play and still been in the movie and still had it be a nice big deal. But she just walked away from the whole project. So Halle Berry's not going to do this. I mean, I think, so here's the problem. So Oscar bait roles. So this is a two-pronged problem for movies. On the one hand, a lot of actors are trained to look for Oscar bait roles. And it used to be, not just too long ago, that if you played someone in the LGBT community, that was like it was a fast track to at least getting the nomination, if not the win. So that's why these actors are still considering these roles, which, so it's taking time for the industry to change how it thinks. Then the other problem is that there are no really famous transgender actors. There's Laverne Cox, but she went the opposite route. She went man to woman. So it's difficult to who would be the star of this movie. But I do think that in today's conversation, you do have to use a transgender actor, but I think it's the movie's job to come up with other roles that famous people can play. That's what I think they need to do. I think that if Halle Berry could be in the film in some other way, I think that it would work really well. Now, the Disclosure documentary, which features a number of transgender actors and people, called Halle Berry out on this specifically. This is going to air on, I don't know if it's aired on Netflix yet, but it will soon. But so they talked about it. Now, this to me, this is how things are changing. One thing I want to point out to you, you might have seen it on Twitter. There was the U.S. military had a number of their bands and music groups perform for the Washington, D.C. 4th of July event. Unfortunately, we had one white guy singing Bruno Mars' Uptown Funk, which I thought was really inappropriate. And then I thought you couldn't top that. But then I was shocked to see footage of a white woman who works for the military singing The Lion King. Like all the words from like the African language, and you're just like, really? Like nobody, when they were rehearsing, I can't believe the words even came out of her mouth. If someone was like, why don't you do a solo and sing the opening of like The Circle of Life with all the African language, I'd be like, no. I'm not even going to try it. I'm not even going to try it. It's just totally inappropriate. It was just really odd that anyone would think that was okay. Now, of course, there are some things that everyone's supposed to be able to enjoy together. And everyone could enjoy watching The Lion King together, that's for sure. Everyone could dance to Bruno Mars's Uptown Funk. He wants everyone to dance to it. He wants to have a big hit. But you can't perform it. It's just not appropriate. It's just, I think that these things to me seem very clear, and so I'm surprised that some people have a problem understanding the difference. All right, so anyway, if you haven't seen those videos, they're interesting. They're interesting. All right, so that's the second story of the day. Halle Berry backed out of this and was like, I'm sorry. And then she said it was a teachable moment and ran away. At least she didn't double down like Scarlett Johansson did, which is what caused a lot of problems for her. So I think people will never forget that Halle Berry tried to do this. I'm surprised that Halle Berry isn't aware of what happened to Scarlett Johansson, nor is anyone on her team. I'm surprised that not her agent or her publicist were like, you can't be in discussions for this role because you're not transgender. All right, so anyway, that's the second story of the day. Now, the third story of the day, boop, Matthew A. Cherry. As we recently people have been discussing, Matthew A., and we actually discussed this yesterday with athletes getting entertainment deals. Matthew A. Cherry is a former NFL player. Well, he signed a deal with Warner Brothers to do content for them, and we weren't sure what he was going to do. They said, you can do content anywhere you want, Matthew, and you can make a movie, you can make a TV show. Well, he's decided on his first project, and I think it's a home run right away. Now, of course, that's him there. He co-won the Oscar for Best Animated Short this year with Hair Love. And so he's decided to make an animated series based on that short, which is going to follow that family through their day-to-day life. And it's going to be called Young Love instead of Hair Love. And it's going to air on HBO Max. It will be not only a 12-episode series, but it will be 2D animated. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I think that's just fantastic. So it's going to focus on this young black family who are millennial parents and what it's like for them. And it's going to be done with Sony Pictures Animation. So Sony Pictures Animation, even though this is going on HBO Max for Warner Brothers, Sony Pictures Animation is still involved. Remember, the Hair Love short aired in front of Angry Birds 2, which was actually surprisingly good. So I think this is just fantastic. It's a great win for representation. It's a great win for 2D animation. And you know what? It's just a great win for entertainment in general. I thought that Hair Love was incredibly sweet. Their family just seemed so wonderful, but at the same time very relatable. And so I think to have that in the culture would be fantastic. I just think that's really, really a good idea. I think it's going to be a little bit like Blackish, but I think sweeter, more Disney-esque, interestingly enough. Disney's probably like, how did we not get this? How did this go on HBO Max? Because it's a very Disney style in terms of the animation. So it's really, really interesting. If you want to watch Hair Love, it's on YouTube. If you want to watch the original short, it's on YouTube, as a couple of people have pointed out. As I just checked it out earlier because I was looking something up for the story, and it has like 35 million views. It's great. It's a really, really good short. You should watch it. And I hope that people see this on HBO Max. I don't know how big their audience is. We know that it's not as big as we would like it to be. All right. So those are the three stories of the day. Let me get rid of the marker. It's 4:23. You can ask me anything you'd like until 4:33, and then I must make my Tron 3 video. Barbie says, Matthew A. Cherry said he'd love to direct a cyborg movie for Ray Fisher. Thoughts? Let's see how everything shakes out with Ray Fisher. He clammed up real fast with his comments because I'm sure Warner Brothers was like, what the heck are you doing? I don't think anybody needs to cancel Joss Whedon. I think Joss Whedon is already canceled. So I think that that would be a great project. I would be interested in that. And I think that that's where everybody should focus. Oh, Yusuf says, thoughts on Terry Crews' Black Lives Matter comments? Don Lemon, I think, already covered that. I don't want to get in on that. I don't understand what Terry Crews is doing. He's like J.K. Rowling. It's like, nobody asked you, Terry. I don't know anything about the Free Britney movement, so I can't really comment on it. I don't know why the slow mode isn't working. You're not supposed to be able to comment for 120 seconds, YouTube. Fidel says he's getting a red and white husky puppy tomorrow. Any name suggestions? Oh, that's adorable. You should talk to CJ, who has a dog like that, I think. It certainly looks like the emoji you used, and he might have some good suggestions. CJ's dog is named Marvel, so maybe you want to name yours DC? Sir Charles, I can't comment on Lucy Liu's comments on being blacklisted in Hollywood because I didn't see them. I was surprised with Tandy Newton's comments today. They certainly were interesting. And Amy Pascal has not really a leg to stand on, considering her leaked emails had some inappropriate jokes about Barack Obama, which is why she had to get fired upward. But I thought the Tom Cruise story was a step too far. I think Tom Cruise he's a Scientologist. But overall, from what I've heard of people who know Tom Cruise, he's a really nice person, but he has very poor social skills. Look, here I am telling a Tom Cruise story, but I don't know Tom Cruise personally, so I think that's not a betrayal of trust. But anyway, I heard that Tom Cruise really never really developed as an adult because he's so sheltered because of Scientology. So he's like a little naive. And I can be a little naive sometimes. So I really identify with him and I feel bad for him. But anyway, I just felt that, to tell the story about Tom Cruise, I felt really wasn't like, unless it was like a Scientology story, I think, something you should realize about any business environment is that nobody wants to think that if they have you around, you might say something bad about them publicly and hurt their reputation. And it would have to be really egregious for you to talk about it, because sometimes it's just a difference of opinion or a difference of styles, or it's a matter of perception. Like, you might think somebody's ridiculous, but maybe that someone else wouldn't. So I just think, it's a good rule of thumb to, unless you're going down, and Ray Fisher and Tandy Newton aren't going down, from what at least I know, you should really not badmouth people to that degree, because I think it'll make other people nervous to work with you. Dallas, my favorite Audrey Hepburn movie would have to be My Fair Lady. That's funny, Barbie. I forget that Tom Cruise is a Scientologist all the time. Every time I'm reminded, I'm like, oh yeah, he's part of a psychotic organization. Darn it. Trenton, it's funny you say that, because I was also thinking of doing a watch along for Jurassic Park, interestingly enough. Maybe that's what it'll be, but it won't be this week. It'll be like maybe next week or something. Oh, that's right. Elizabeth Moss is also a Scientologist. Yikes. Alex says, with the Fantastic Beasts film dead. I know about something that's going to come out in the next month. At the latest, maybe. It's on the verge of coming out. I'm sworn to secrecy. That's why I'm holding off covering Fantastic Beasts, because this has to come out before I can do it. Hey, Lena. Nice to see you back. I can't spill. I'm sworn to secrecy. It's too big a thing. I can't do it, guys. It's going to get my source in trouble. I'm glad you renewed, Lena. It's bad. Hey, Antonio Cortez. The thing is, I don't know the timetable on when it will come out. I heard it could be this week. I heard it could be maybe like in a couple of weeks. So I have to see. I can't hint at it. I already kind of did. I told you what movie it involved to some degree. Right. Sorry I torture you there, Scott. Hi, Scott. I miss you, Scott. I've had a very rough week. Let's see here. Hey, Gemini. Thanks for joining. We have 4 minutes left on this Ask Me Anything section. Chico says, what actress would you like to see play Snow White? I saw some people suggesting Asian actresses, which I thought was an interesting way to go. I wish people would be more open-minded on this stuff, because, it's just trying something new with it. I don't know. I'd have to see how they rework the story. Snow White is a very simplistic story. What's for dinner, Daniel? I'm going to have frozen broccoli and finish off my fish sticks. I'm real low on food. Thank goodness I'm getting a food delivery tomorrow. I'm like, what happened to all my food? Ivan, I think Marvel Studios will present at Comic-Con at home. They're going to be announcing the schedule every day this week. I will make videos to cover the film and TV schedules once all the panels are announced. But once it's announced that Marvel is going to be there, that will be a separate video. That'll be done immediately. Giovanni, I just gave you tea yesterday about Batgirl with Michael Keaton. I hope you like that tea. Oh, Misty Rand, your daughter likes fish sticks too? I have to say, I've rediscovered them in quarantine, and they are delicious. I love fish sticks. Hey, Bradley, new member. Lloyd, Comic-Con at home is in 2 weeks. Lena, I'm not going to cover the Wonder Woman stills because I don't know if, I think they came out of a book. I don't know if that book was officially released. So it puts me in a difficult situation. Warner Brothers is very aggressive with Wonder Woman coverage. And also there wasn't anything new in the pictures that we haven't seen before. So that's another incentive like not to take the risk. Morgendorfer, I believe fish sticks are the same as fish fingers, but fish fingers is not a name that I care for. I got to tell you, I've never heard that before. I'm going to cover the Johnny Depp trial too, but of course I have to see what the verdict is. We'll have it in 3 weeks. He's also suing Amber Heard in the United States, but right now the UK case is what's going on. So he's got 2 lawsuits against Amber Heard. Well, this first one is against a newspaper in the UK that used her as a source, and then he's suing Amber Heard specifically for defamation in the United States, but I don't believe that can go forward until next year. It's going to be a long battle for him, but I'm glad he's doing it. I don't know how he's paying his lawyers, but we'll see. Hey, Shane Monaghan, new member, because he lost all of his money. You really call it fish fingers in South Africa? That's crazy. And in the UK? Fish fingers. That makes them less tasty, in my opinion. Lucas says, Grace, do you think Hollywood can be an extremely toxic environment? I think you'd be shocked how everything can be toxic. One of my favorite Bill Burr jokes is he was saying that Bill Burr, by the way, even I feel sometimes he goes too far. But one of my favorite Bill Burr jokes is he said there was this woman complaining about the fact that she got flashed. Some guy flashed his private parts at her, and she was really offended. And Bill Burr said, you wanted to come out into the world and leave the kitchen. Well, guess what? This is the kind of stuff that happens out here. We're all getting flashed left and right. So welcome to the party. And I thought that was really funny. I mean, it's funny, but also it's sad. But don't imagine that bad things aren't happening to other people. It's different bad stuff, but everybody's pretty much having a rough time. That's one thing I think people is being lost in the conversation. Obviously, some people are having a worse time, but everybody in life has a difficult time, has their own battles to fight. You'd be surprised. That's right, Dallas. Practice kindness. I always try to be really kind and think about other people from their perspective. And that's unfortunately a rare thing. I don't know why it is, but it is. It's sad. Oh, it's 4:33. Okay, I'll do 2 more, and then I've got to go. That's right, Brandon. Be excellent to each other. Rodolfo, I'm doing a Tron 3 video right after this, so I'm not going to answer that. But thank you for asking. Some people do lack empathy, Megan. It's really shocking. That's what Tom Hanks was talking about today. He's like, why can't you just wear a goddamn mask? I'm paraphrasing. He didn't swear. Movie Math will come out tonight, Chico. Yes, it will. It'll come out this evening. It might be like around 8:30, but it'll come out. I have watched Poltergeist, Gwen. That's an excellent movie. I love classic Spielberg. What movies did I watch over the weekend? I watched Dave, which I enjoyed with Kevin Kline. I thought that was actually surprisingly good. Although at the end of Dave, I was like, that's nice, but I want to be president. You know, I mean, it's like, it's funny. Dave was only made in the 1990s, but it has a very antiquated view still of you know, we've come so far and how people should be represented in that short time. Peyton, I haven't seen The Great, but so many people have recommended it to me. I'm going to get started on it when I can, maybe this weekend. All right, everybody, it's 4:34. I must go cover this Tron news. Have a lovely rest of your day. Video's coming. And then the next stream will be on either Thursday or I think it'll be Thursday, but let me see how things are going. There'll be one more this week because we do 3 streams a week. And then, of course, the viewer call-in show will return next Sunday. All right, everybody. Bye. Bye, everybody. Stay safe. Be kind.